Well, way back in the olden days when I was young, one of the favourite stories in Sunday school was the feeding of the 5,000. Jesus conjuring up a feast for the masses using just one young lad's packed lunch. What is perhaps not quite so well known is that there was a second occasion, different time, different place, but with a very similar outcome. Critics and skeptics alike have tried to say, well, perhaps this is just one story. And they've endeavoured to rationalise away the seemingly supernatural by claiming some kind of logical reason behind it all. And if that is the case, well, then there's not much more to be said. But stick with me on this one, if you will, just for a bit longer. Just supposing everything happened just as it was written down. And if that's the case, what can we take away concerning this man, Jesus? Well, first of all, if he was curing the sick, if he was exorcising unclean spirits, taking command over Mother Nature, and even raising his friend Lazarus from the dead, then being able to feed so many people with just what has been charmingly described as a sardine sandwich, well then, that was just a piece of cake, or rather a loaf of bread. Well, secondly, also, Jesus was open to all comers. In that first account, the feeding of the 5,000, that they were Jewish. In the second account, the feeding of the 4,000, they were not. They were Gentiles. Two people groups who did not see eye to eye. But Jesus, he rose above all of that. And finally, what we see is that when Jesus gives, he gives generously, not just to supply their needs, but more so. There were oodles left over, 12 baskets in the first case, 7 sackloads in the second. So how did people respond? Well, some, sadly, only thought through their stomach and were looking for the next meal. Others, though, were more intrigued. They wanted to know who this man was and what else it was that he could give them. And that very neatly takes us on to this coming Sunday. Jesus, talking to his friends, said that he was being described in all sorts of ways by other people. But he looked them in the eye and said, "Who do you think I am?" A question that has remained open throughout the centuries and is every bit as pertinent to us today. And so, if you are beginning to think that life is far more than eat, sleep, and repeat, this man Jesus is certainly worth a thought. And you would be very welcome to join us. But for now, do take care, stay safe, and thank you for listening.